episode 4049, just in case you missed it.
Moms, it's time to rediscover, rejuvenate, and renew who you are in mind, body, and spirit. Welcome to Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie, the show to help you do just that. Here's your host, certified life coach, personal trainer, and nutritionist, Christiane Wargo.
Happy day. I hope you're ready for Friday, because that is what it is, and that means it's the weekend. You get to enjoy a little bit of rest, maybe a little bit of fun too. But just in case you missed it, let's do it. For those of you who are brand new to Create Your Now, welcome to this incredible family. I'm so delighted of your presence. If you already had the opportunity, you want to head on over to createyournow.com, where you can learn more and sign up for the Kisses newsletter, the Keep It Simple strategy, everyday solutions to live, love, and impact. Well, this episode is brought to you by AIM, Inspiring Connection and Community. You know, why let life get so unruly, especially when it comes to your family, right? Look at your busyness. Busyness doesn't need to be a convenient excuse to soften the blow of your absence when you tell your kids that, well, you just can't be there for them, can't be there for that, can't be there for your dance recital, can't go to your game. I'm not going to be there for whatever it is. Even when they get older, don't be that kind of parent. Hang on with your presence, just in case you missed it. Because you can't be everywhere all the time, right? You are going to miss things. That's just the reality that we live in. And trying to be a superhero with endless energy leads straight to burnout. And that's no life. That's no living legacy. You're just driving yourself right into the ground. So instead, be strategic about your presence. And I know we talk a lot about presence here at Create Your Now. Why? Because you need to be present, be incredible, be you. And those are choices that you get to make. Who you are and who you are becoming. And that means you get to choose even when you're a parent and how you parent, what it looks like when you parent. And I'm not saying you're going to be the perfect parent, but you can be the present parent, the one who shows up, not always physically, but emotionally, mentally, psychologically. You don't have to go to everything to be present. And I think that's where we get a little bit messed up as parents, because we think we have to be at everything. But if you're just genuinely present, even in the small ways, you create moments that stick. You need to have those sticky moments in your children's lives. So what do you do now in your family if you cannot make it, to something meaningful? That career event, maybe even a graduation. I can remember, and this is a long, long time ago, I was talking to a mom and she said, "Oh, Christiane," she goes, "I feel absolutely horrible. I can't make it to my child's kindergarten graduation." And I kind of just giggled a little bit. And I said, "Kindergarten graduation?" Now, understand this. Back in the day, kindergarten graduation did happen, but not as often as it does now. And I'm thinking, we're celebrating kindergarten. We need to get them to just the next stage of life. And so I giggled a little bit because I was like, you're going to have tons of other major events. Yet she was beating herself up in the moment of going, I can't be there, saying he made it through kindergarten. Do you really think that was worth the beating? No, of course not. So just in case you missed it, being present doesn't mean perfection or constant availability. It means commitment. Commitment to your child, commitment to their heart, commitment to showing up emotionally and mentally, even when life pulls you away physically. Because that is going to happen. It is definitely a guarantee. So what can you do as a parent to make sense of your own absence, yet still be present so your child doesn't feel like anything was missed? Well, you know what has to happen. You got to be present. That is your Kiss to Keep It Simple strategy. Be present. And again, that doesn't mean physically. When I talk about presence, let me give you an example. When we're with our family, I love all of my children to the depths of this world. And I know you do too. And so when we're gathering around, each one of them is so uniquely different. And my boys, well, they're all gamers, including my husband. Now, they don't play all the games, but they play some specific games, and then they'll play specific games together. In fact, I was just having a conversation with my husband. He's like, yeah, we were playing this game. I won't mention it because then, they don't support this program. They should probably. But anyway, we'll just leave it unnamed. But it's a fun game. I don't play it. I'm not in it. But it's been around for a while. It's great. They have fun. And I'm like, that's great that they connect that way. And one of our kiddos just got a brand new job, promotion. He's moving over. It's awesome what he's going to be doing. And so he got to share that with his brothers and his dad. His dad already knew, but he shared with his brothers. And so it was a special time. They were present even though they were gaming, right? So sometimes our presence doesn't mean that we are attending something. Sometimes it means we are attentive. And that's where we mess up a lot of times. We think we have to go and do and be, when really what we need to do is be. Be present in their life. So I want to go through 3 areas that I think really can help you strategy-wise to be present in your child's life and maybe your spouse, your relatives, your family, your friends, all of it. This is something you can take to the bank, so to speak, when you want to be present with anyone in your life. Number 1, quality check-ins over quantity time. It's not about clocking hours. It's about connection. You've got to have that sincere, focused conversation because that beats a distractive hour any day. And a lot of times we're there, right? If you're dealing with the dinner dishes and dogs, you're distracted. You think you can multitask and be all in, but you may miss the one word in their sentence that changes the meaning. Seriously. And I know I say this because I've done it. And I'm like, oh, that is totally different. Because I don't even remember the exact situation. I think it had to do with somebody didn't like me, and I thought it was somebody did like me. Anyway, it was a conversation with one of my kiddos. And my comment to their whatever they were saying to me did not make sense to what was told to me. And they were like, Mom, are you listening? I'm like, yes. And they're like, no, you're not. And I said, okay, tell me again. And when they said it again and I remembered what I said, I was like, oh, I totally missed that. Totally over my head, totally not working. You've got to be sincere and focused on your conversation with your kiddos, because if you're not, you're going to miss that one word that changes the sentence, that changes the meaning. So put down your phone. Listen actively. Engage fully. Make it clear that your child's world is your world, even if your schedules don't align perfectly. So maybe you can't go to your child's tennis match. It's not the end of the world, right? Maybe there's another parent there that can take some pictures or can say, hey, will you just let them know this? And most of the time, if our kids are older, it's one thing if they're 5 years old to 10 years old and they don't have a phone, different conversation. But if you're dealing with your teens and, into your high school and to college, you can text them. You have other ways of communicating than always being physically present. Now, I'm not telling you and giving you an excuse not to go to your kids' stuff. You need to. You need to show up. You need to be that engaged parent. But when you cannot, remember it's quality over quantity. And it wins every single time. Number 2, ritualize presence. Create simple, consistent routines that your child can count on. Maybe it's that bedtime story. Maybe it's a weekly walk. Maybe it's that text message that, you just send them throughout their busy day, or they've got a final or something's happening major in their life. Rituals anchor relationships and they offer reliability. And it signals to the child that, guess what? I'm emotionally invested in you, baby doll. I love you. I'm sorry I can't be there, but I want you to know I'm thinking of you no matter what's happening around you as the parent. And that means the world to them. I can remember when my kiddos started their first job, like the real job, like they're out in the real world, big job. And I'm like, oh, it's their first day. I'm like, take a picture, like the first day of school. It's your first day at work. And they just would kind of roll their eyes with an emoji or whatever. And then later on, they would send me a text message. And I'm like, picture? smiley face. And they would just laugh later on and be like, Mom, you're just so mom. But they just knew that that was kind of something that mom did. Now, I'm not one who goes and posts them all over social media. That's not my job. I don't do it. I don't hang out there. And they don't like it either. If they want to post it, they can do it. But that's just something that was kind of one of those teasers when they were growing up. And it was more so dad wanting it. And so mom would take the pictures because dad might have already been at work. And so if I had the pictures, then he would get them. It was a great way. That's what I mean by ritualizing your presence and what it looks like and feels like. Because you're almost really instigating there a habit that you're putting in motion where it's not so rote where, okay, you just are going to say the same thing over and over again. But it's where it shows up where it's supposed to, in the right and proper space. And you just know it because why? Your mom. You just got it. You don't even have to think it because you just know it. And then finally, number 3, own the absence with intention. Don't let your absence become an invisible gap. Speak openly about why you're not there, why you're going to miss it. Reinforce your commitment and your love, and then set those clear expectations for when you will reconnect. What does it look like? You know, this is really tough here when your kids go off to school. And if you've ever had any kiddos go off to school, you're like, oh my goodness, this is going to kill me. Initially, yes. Later, no, but don't tell them that secret. They don't need to know that part of it. Because it's not that you don't want to be with them. It's just that you're in a different stage of life, and so are they. And there's nothing wrong with that. However, you want to make sure you have a way to connect. Like, when are you going to talk? Because you're not going to see them every single day. And maybe you'll talk to them every single day. I mean, for me, my mom, most of the time I talk to her every single day. If I miss it, it's because I'm traveling or she's got something going on, she's traveling. But most of the time, we check in with each other. It's just something we do. Call me crazy. It is what it is. Now, my children, I'll tell you this, they do not call me every day. But I will probably talk to at least one child every single day, if not 2 or 3 on average, of my 5. And then I think my grandbabies would talk to me every day if they could. Which maybe I should get them a phone. Then they can just have the one dial number that just, you push the number 1 and grandma comes on. Okay, we'll leave that one for another episode. But seriously, if you're not going to be there, right? Let them know why. Or tell them this is when you can expect to hear from me. This is what's going on. Transparency builds trust and diffuses confusion. So your child does not fill the silence with doubt. And that's what happens when mom's not around, when you're missing an action, which there's nothing wrong with that. You have a life too to live. But when you are missing an action, as long as your child knows about it, then they don't have to sit there and go, where is she? What's going on? And then that becomes another distraction. And that distraction then can lead to doubt. Doesn't always, but it can. Like, gosh, why isn't mom here? She's always here. And then they lead to, oh, did I not? What did I do wrong? Is she mad at me? You never know what your child and the different rabbit holes they take themselves down because they're kids. Their brains are not mature. And so they think of these things, and then these little itsy bitsy, popcorn seeds of a thought now becomes this blown up apple pie that's not so sweet, right? It's tart and it's gone bad. And you're like, seriously? This is what I get. So own the absence with intention. I promise, Mom, Dad, your kids will remember how you made them feel, not how many events you showed up to. They're going to know that you love them. You just have to be willing to commit to showing up in the ways that matter, even when you can't be there physically. We all miss things. We do. I've missed things. And as much as you want to be there for everything, you just can't be. But let me tell you this. Presence is the best gift you can give, just in case you missed it. Go in peace. Be present. Be incredible. Be you. I love you so very much. I cannot wait to see you on the other side. Blessings, hugs, and lots of love. We'll talk to you real soon. Have a glorious, blessed weekend. Bye-bye.
Feeling inspired, ready to train for life and love your journey? Visit createyournow.com for more incredible resources to help you along the way. We'll see you next time on Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie. And remember, always be sure you consult your physician before beginning any health and fitness plan.